the extent to which these gangs have infiltrated law enforcement. Like many street gangs, new potential members have to go through an initiation. One ritual called Chasing Ink involves beating or shooting someone during an arrest to prove their mettle and receiving a gang tattoo. This secret ritual was revealed by LASD whistleblower Deputy Art Gonzalez. During a groundbreaking sworn testimony in 2020, he stated that fellow deputy Miguel Vega was a prospect who wanted to join the executioners when he shot 18-year-old Andres Guardado 5 times in the back, killing him outside a car body shop in Gardena, where he worked as a security guard. Police claimed Guardado had displayed a weapon, but family members maintained that Guardado was unarmed at the time, and there was no body camera footage recorded to back up either claim.
Moving on here, new video and revelations in the case of Andres Guardado, who was shot and killed by LA County Sheriff deputies near Gardena. Investigators showed the gun they say was next to Guardado's body, a gun that they say that has his DNA on it.
The event triggered protests in the city, and in 2023, Vega was cleared of all charges, but soon pleaded guilty in a separate case to conspire to violate the civil rights of a skateboarder by forcing him into the back of a patrol car and then trying to cover it up with a falsified report. After shootings, gangs celebrate with 998 parties. Some people say it's to celebrate the deputy being alive. Others say it's to celebrate that they're going to be inking somebody as a new member. The death of Guardado wasn't the only incident of chasing ink linked to the executioners. Sheldon Lockett, a former high school football prospect, claimed deputies Mizrain Orrego and Samuel Aldama called him the N-word and violently assaulted him during an arrest outside his godmother's home in 2016.
These officers aggressively approached them and goaded them into a chase.
I blacked out once, so I was thinking pretty much death from there. From there on, I was thinking I was going to die or at least somewhere, get shot, anything.
Matching the description of a shooting suspect, Lockett was charged with attempted murder and spent 8 months in jail before a witness recanted her identification and prosecutors dropped all charges against him. Deputies Aldama and Orrego denied using the N-word during his arrest and say the force they used was justified because they believed he had a gun, even though no gun was ever found.
Like beating me, kicking me, calling me.
But just 3 weeks after charges against Lockett were dropped, Aldama and Orrego shot and killed Donta Taylor during a foot chase. The deputies said Taylor had a gun, but again, no gun was ever found. The LA County District Attorney's Office determined that Aldama and Orrego had a reasonable belief that Taylor was armed and declined to file charges against the officers. A $7 million settlement was paid to Taylor's family for wrongful death, one of the largest payouts over a lawsuit involving the LASD. Since his testimony, whistleblower Gonzalez is on leave from the department and in fear for his life. The roots of the deputy gangs trace back to 1973, with the Little Red Devils setting up in East LA Station. The deputies, most of them white men, called the station Fort Apache after the John Wayne movie about a mostly white cavalry unit at war with Native Americans. However, it wasn't until 1992, in the aftermath of the notorious Rodney King beating, that a landmark report by special counsel James G. Colts publicly denounced the presence of deputy gangs, bringing them into the spotlight. One of those in the headlines were the Vikings, a deputy gang at the Linwood substation who were labeled as a neo-Nazi white supremacist gang by District Judge Terry J. Hatter in a federal civil rights lawsuit in 1992. The county ended up paying $9 million to settle injury claims asserted by dozens of the Vikings victims. And although it was never proved in court, Vikings were suspected to have perpetrated the still unsolved drive-by shooting of Lloyd Polk after he brokered a peace meeting among rival Linwood street gangs. It's estimated that around 24 gangs now exist within the LASD. The executioners are based out of the Compton station, with members having a tattoo of a skeleton wearing a war helmet and an AK-47. The Jump Out Boys have a matching tattoo of a skull holding a gun, and allegedly take pride in aggressive policing and the shootings of mostly Latino and black gang members. The gang were exposed in 2013 when 7 members were fired for alleged membership and sharing a secret black book to document dates of shootings. But they contested the firings and were suspended instead. It's not just members of the public who fear these gangs. Other sheriffs face threats and abuse, ranging from a failure to provide backup at dangerous crime scenes to outright assault against fellow deputies. East LA Station is notorious as the home of the Banditos. Said to control the station like inmates running a prison yard, their tattoo is a skeleton wearing a thick mustache, a sombrero, and brandishing a smoking gun. In 2014, Guadalupe Lopez, then a 10-year veteran of the force, described in a civil lawsuit how members of the Banditos had subjected her to relentless sexual harassment and innuendo. She was told that female deputies had to perform oral sex if she wanted to complete her training. When she refused, the Banditos began a campaign of physical intimidation, including allegedly being run off the road by another deputy, being slammed hard into a wall while she held a loaded shotgun, and having a dead rat placed under her car. In April 2023, 8 sheriff's deputies were allowed by a judge to move forward with a case of allegations that they were threatened and bullied by Banditos in an attempt to get them to conform to corruption in order to pay taxes to the gang. During a training session, alleged Banditos sucker punched Deputy Art Hernandez, knocking him out cold, then kicking him while he was unconscious. Another deputy grabbed Oscar Escobedo from behind and choked him unconscious. In the aftermath of the damning revelations surrounding LASD gangs, it's crucial to recognize that a majority of deputies are not implicated in these deeply troubling activities. However, the actions of a few have cast a shadow over the entire department, eroding public trust. But as the LASD grapples with the fallout, it must swiftly address the systemic issues that have allowed deputy gangs to flourish and rebuild faith that the guardians